About 2 years ago I was looking for the first time for a piece of land because we love this area here. My mother has a small house here and I just love this place here, especially behind you see the island Skiathos, and Skiathos is something very special for me. It's one of the most beautiful places I can imagine. So for me it was clear that we have, or I have to buy something very close to Skiathos, or maybe on Skiathos itself, but in Skiathos the prices are extremely high. But for me the opposite here in Pylion is maybe a little better, because you are just 5 minutes away from Skiathos and with a boat, and you can go every day to Skiathos, but here are the prices very low, so it's much cheaper to find something here. And here you have, in the winter, it's like you have nothing. You have to go 2 hours from here to Volos to find an open shop, or maybe if you are lucky you go to Agalasti, it's about 1 hour from here, and there are some shops where you can get some food maybe, but it's very poor. So you have to go to Volos. So anyway, with this knowledge behind, I'm sure I want to find something here. I was thinking about maybe 50,000 or 60,000 would be great to find. And then I go in the internet and I found a page from a German real estate broker. Then I found something on this page which I thought this maybe it would be. It was a place with about 6,000 or 7,000 square meters. So the Greek people say 7 strema, so 6,000 square meters. It had a wonderful sea view, and around you only were forests. So there were no street, no public, no neighbors, nothing, just off-grid in the forest. I was calling him and we met 2 years ago in August. I think it was the 5th of August. At this time we were in Skiathos for holidays. We go with a boat here to Pylion to find this guy, and then we go to the land. And immediately I was sure, this place is it what I want to have. And this place was about, I think, 80,000 euro. And I said to him, okay, whatever will happen, this is my piece of land. 10,000 euro you have to pay also. You have to pay also for other things like lawyer and everything. And taxes, of course. And I said, okay, no problem. So easy and so quick to find a land where you are 100% sure, and it was the first land, and I was sure. So I don't want to look around to find, maybe we can find something. No. I was sure and want to have this piece of land. And the price, okay, at this time I didn't have the money, I had to wait a little bit. Then 3 months later I call him and ask him if it maybe will be possible for maybe 65,000 euro I have now, I could pay now. And then 2 days later he answered to me, yes, it's a Greek guy who sells this land, but he's also living in Germany. But now he don't want 80,000 anymore, now he wants 85,000. And I said, oh, very nice. What is this for a very strange behavior? But okay, so I said I have to wait again. And another year passes by and I said, okay, this land is so interesting. I don't like the owner because he goes all the time. I ask him, he goes up with the price, what is absolutely no-go. But I wanted so much. And then I called him again and I said, okay, let's go now, let's make it. And then he said, let's wait a little bit because now there is something from the government which is not so good, and maybe you have to wait a little bit, maybe 2 months or something. And I said, what is it? What is it? Can you please tell me what is it? And he said, yes, I was talking with a topograph, so with a land surveyor, with an engineer, and he said it's better that we wait. At this time I didn't knew that he was lying to me, because at this time it was not possible to build to get a building permission for this land. Because exactly at this time they changed the rules, the laws, or whatever you want to call it, and say that it's not possible to build a house on a piece of land which is not on the road, or which is not in the city, or in a village, in the plan. So outside of the plan it was always possible to build, 100% sure if you have more than 4,000 square meters. So with 10,000 square meters, for example, you can build even in the forest. But at this time they changed everything and it was not possible. And this concerns to 3 million pieces of land. So whole Greece was expropriated, or how you call it. So a piece of land which was worth maybe 100,000 euro suddenly was only 10 euro. If you want to buy something where you can't build a house. But I didn't know this at this time. I was calling him. Now, what he say? Can we go on now? Can I bet? I wanted so much to have this piece of land, but he always said, let's wait, and there is something. And after 4 months, 6 months maybe, I was going to the internet and I said, okay, I want to know what is he talking about. And then I find out what I just told you. You can't get a building permission. So I think I talked to this German guy, I don't know, 2 years maybe at the end, and we sent about 2,000 emails. It was my best email friend which I ever had in my life. And at the end, I really was thinking to buy it anyway, because I love it so much. So okay, I can't build a house, okay. Then I put a caravan, maybe I put a tiny home. Maybe I put something, maybe I can build a wooden cabin or something like this. But then I learned that it is nothing allowed. You even can't build a fence, you can't make a street, you can't make a small platform. Everything is forbidden. So then I was thinking I pay him not 85,000. I was asking him, okay, can we do it like this? I give you 50,000 for a piece of land where you can't build, it's nothing worse. But I said 50,000 because I was stupid. And if someday maybe it happens that you can build a house again, then I pay you the other 35,000 euro. And he said, no, of course not, of course not. Okay, I said, forget it. Then we check other places here around. And then we check other places. I was calling, looking, talking, sending emails. I was to all the agencies talking which I could find in the internet, and we found so many places, but nothing was comparable to my dreamland. And then I said, okay, Greece, we will not find something, we will go to Italy. Before, of course, I was checking in the internet, and there I found through the internet a lot of places which I immediately call the real estate broker. And I think I was talking to many real estate brokers, oh my god, and I found so many nice and beautiful places. If you saw the pictures in the internet, you go crazy. So beautiful and cheap, very cheap, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 euro. Every single object had a huge mistake. At least for me it was. So it was not acceptable for me, at least. For example, I found a place, a house, a natural stone house in the middle of the forest. So they say it's okay for making a renovation, and it's a lot of land. It's about 16,000 square meters. So I was talking to the real estate agent and asked him about the house, and he said everything is possible, it's good, it's nice, you can renovate the cabin, everything perfect. And I said, oh wow, so I would like to have it, to buy it maybe, because it was very cheap, 20,000 euro off-grid in the mountains. I can't remember, it was somewhere near Torre Pellice or what it's called. But this house, I thought, for this price maybe there is something not okay. And then I saw on a picture on a wall in front of the house, I saw a white and a red flag, and I said, what is this? White and red. I go through the internet, I Google, and I found this is a walking path for many tourists. So he wanted to sell me a house where I asked him if there is really off-grid, and he said, yeah, everything is fine, very private and everything, it's in the forest. But 5 meters in front of the house there was the public walking path. This was the first experience in Italy. The next house was the same. I found something very beautiful, and it looks like a little off-grid, not so off-grid, but a little off-grid. It was somewhere, if you go to Zinders, so from Milano, you go to Zinders, and then you are, Switzerland is here, and it's under Switzerland somewhere. Can't remember, I forgot the name. A very nice place, and it was a beautiful stone, natural stone house, which was ready for renovating. And a lot of land, I think 10,000 square meters. And it was a complex of about 4 buildings which are very close together. And it was about 100,000 euros, so a lot of money at this time for me. I call this real estate agent and talking to her, and she said, yeah, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, you can build, you can renovate, you can make whatever you want. And I said, oh my God, that sounds so great. And then I asked for the plan, because I was learning slowly what's going on in Italy. And then you have all the parcels. So you have one piece of land which is divided in maybe 10 or 20 different plots. And every plot has its own regulation. So maybe one plot is olive trees, one plot you can build something, one plot is absolute natural, untouchable place where you can't walk even on it. So very, she sent me the plans for this house, and the 4 pieces which were all together wasn't all mine if I have bought it. No, it was only 3. And the other house, 2 meters away from my house, there is another guy sitting inside eating cake all the time maybe. So this was not for me, because I want to go off-grid. I don't want to have a neighbor which is 2 meters away from my door. I can't believe it, and she didn't told it to me. And can you imagine, you buy a house, you think you are off-grid, and then you have 2 meters away somebody sitting on the veranda saying, hi, how are you? Buongiorno. My God, and this goes on, and I can't believe it. The next house, look at these pictures. This is absolutely stunning. It is exactly above Zinders. So I don't know the Italian name from Zinders, but it's about 2 hours away from Milan. And it was in the mountains, everything green around you. I was looking at Google Maps, everything was really green. A lot of forest, maybe half hour away from the next big village. Up in the mountains, about 1,200 meters high. which is not my cup of tea because it's too cold for me in the winter. I usually like something more warm, but it was so beautiful that I asked the people there, the real estate broker, and I asked him, is there something which I have to know? All the pictures, I think he had 25 pictures, and every picture was like a painting, and I can't believe, and it was 50,000 euro. And I think it was only 5,000 square meters, but because you have forest around you, so you you don't have neighbors, so you have your freedom maybe. And then I was looking at Google Maps and I was thinking, my God, 50,000 euro, this is a dream. I told him that I will come next week with a ferry boat and that he have to hold it for me, so don't sell it, please hold it for me. And then I saw something on Google Maps about 40 meters away from the house, and this was looking very strange, like a building, or I don't know, like a space shuttle landing station, I don't know, very, very strange. And then I called him and I asked him, could you maybe tell me what is 40 meters there from the house? There must be something huge. And then he told me, yes, there is a TV tower, telephone tower, whatever for a tower, very big, I don't know, 50 meters high, something very huge and big. Can you imagine, you live off-grid, you came out of your house and then exactly in front of your nose there is a, like in a future, in a science fiction film, there is a big tower. Dad, I don't want to have this tower. Anyway, you don't know how much power will come from this tower. The good thing, you will have internet very fast, but you will have maybe other things which you don't need so much. So this was the most beautiful house and place which I saw in the internet, and I was ready to go there. I was really ready to go there, buying tickets for the ferry boat, and so many stories and many places. But then suddenly I find something in the internet, a forest. A forest with an old stone house, with a ruin in the middle of the forest. It was 100,000 square meters, so 10 hectares. This was very, very big. It was near Viterbo, so Soriano nel Cimino. There's a mountain which called Monte Cimino, something like this. And immediately I take my phone, I call the broker. Very nice people on the telephone and very helpful. They try to help you really. They give you all the information which you want to hear, which is maybe not true, but everything I want to hear, they told me. Can I build a house? Yes. Is there a stream with water? Yes, there's a stream with water. Can I dig for water, so make a hole for water? Yes, no problem. Can I put a caravan on the land? Yes, no problem. I can. Can I do all the other nice things which I want to do, like maybe like building a fence, maybe building a swimming pool? And she said, yeah, no problem, you can. It's your land. So we take the telephone and call the ferry boat from Patras to Ancona, and we said, okay, Greece is not possible anymore. A dream has died. So we go in the middle of January, so now I think 6 months ago or 7 months ago, we went to Ancona with the ferry boat. Was a wonderful journey. The ferry boat was empty, no people, only the truck drivers, and you have all the boat for yourself. It was a wonderful weather, nice sunset, and it was just a dream to sit on the deck looking at the sunset, drinking a frappé, and dreaming of your new property. Going to Italy, my God. Okay, I'm not at the sea, which was very, very hard to imagine for me, because the sea is something which I need. I can't imagine to live far away from the sea, but okay, let's check the forest. And we went there, and then we go with the car from Ancona to Viterbo, and this was in the night there was so much traffic. I said to my wife at this time, you know what, I want to go away from the crowds and I not want to go inside the crowds. And it was this place what we want to buy was only 1 hour from Rome. So I was not so sure about it, but it was just a lovely place, and I was desperate. I was really desperate. I had now some money, but I couldn't find a land, nowhere. So we're going through all this traffic and we go in the middle of all these crowded places. And I said, no, let's go back immediately. But okay, we go there. We had a nice Airbnb flat near Viterbo. Viterbo is a lovely little town. You know, all the small villages in Italy are absolutely stunning. Italy for me is maybe one of the most beautiful places in the world, maybe the most beautiful country in the world. You look at the coastline, look at the mountains, look at the Dolomites, look at the island Sardinia, and this is a place which is unbelievable stunning. And in the middle of this dream forest we had 10 hectares of land which we could buy, with a little small ruin in the middle of the land. We asked everything what we can do. We were there, we checked the situation. There was a cabin, there was a street near which had contact to the property. There was a building which was not legal, it was illegal. She told me it's not a house, it's a cave. But it was a house, but I said okay, we take it. But she didn't want to show us the cave, because I wanted to go and meet the real estate broker at the blue door on the street where the little cave was, but I didn't know at this time that there was a little cave. She wanted to meet at the office from her and want to bring us on the other side from the property, far away from the small cave, which was a building, by the way. And okay, so we meet there, we go. It was 2 girls which gave everything they had. They were lovely and they made compliments and they asked, and they were so interested in my life, and oh, I'm a photographer, oh, and her friend is a photographer also, and they make, I felt like we are the best friends for 20 years. Very, very nice people from the agency. From the agency tech, so very, very good. I can't believe it. I thought I was dreaming. Such a beautiful forest, such a beautiful broker, which is so full of heartwarming words that I couldn't believe it. And my wife also, she said, my God, we have to buy this. And that's what we did. We make a down payment for this place, because that was the only thing we could find at this moment. So we signed the contract for the down payment, and the place was 80,000 euro with big forest, olive trees, a ruin. They say you can fix a house with 80 square meters. And I said at this time, this is a dream come true. If you compare this to Greece, at least we have something. Then we go back home and we make plans for the future and for the property. She told me that it will take about 2 months until we can sign the end contract, so we will be the owner after maybe 2 months. And I was looking in the internet and trying to find out if this was really all real what she told me, and then I found out that everything she said was not so real. So for example, we found out that you can't cut trees where you want to build the house just like this, so you maybe will go to jail in Italy if you cut trees just like this, or you have to pay 60,000 euro, I think it's in Italy. So then I was a little skeptical, and I go on with research, with a lot of research. But normally they say the real estate broker in Italy has his own quality in Europe. So you don't need a lawyer, you don't need a notary or something like this, because they have a special education. And then we call a land surveyor in Viterbo, and I ask him, could you tell me this land here, can we build a house there? And then he told me, you have to send me the CDU papers. And I said, what's the CDU papers? And he said, only with the CDU papers I can tell you what is allowed and what is not allowed. Then I call the real estate broker from Texas and Soriano nel Cimino, the two girls, and I ask her, what is, why don't you send me the CDU paper? That's so important, I have to have it. And she said, yeah, that belongs to the contract later. We just order it and it will be here in about 30 days. So I was sitting there and I knew now I have to wait 30 days before I could go on with making plans. And then I find out in the internet that in the CDU paper there are something like you have a land type A, a land type C, B, E and everything like this. And for example, if you have a land A, you have a urbanizated land, so you can build something. If you have a type E, for example, there's nothing allowed. You even can't live there if you are not a farmer. So in a type E land, you can live only as a farmer, and you can't get a farmer very easy, because they want you to prove for them that you are a real farmer. So you have to have experience over many years to be a farmer. But we are no farmer, we are photographer. So I was wondering what will be written down in the CDU paper. I can't wait to see my CDU papers. The problem is I didn't know all this. I only know the rules of Greece at this moment. I didn't know that in Italy is something the same like in Greece, maybe even more, a little worse. So the CDU papers arrived and she sent it to me immediately. And what should I tell you now? It was type E. So for me, as a non-farmer, it was not allowed to live on this land. But the government of Italy allowed to me to buy it. I can buy it, but I can't live there as a non-farmer. And very interesting, if a farmer will buy this land, he pays 1% of the price from the property. So in this case, maybe 1,000 euro. For me, I have to pay 15% taxes if I buy the property. So in this case about 15,000, I don't know. And the other taxes, and the lawyer, and the notary, and so on and so on. And of course the real estate broker, which wanted to have 4%. So a fantastic place, a fantastic dream forest, which I love, and another burst soap bubble in my life. So now there was only one thing for me. How could I get out of this situation? Because they wanted to have the rest of the money. But anyway, we take a lawyer. We go against all these real estate brokers, against the owner, which was, in this case, it was anyway easy to find a solution. to get out of everything, because there was an illegal building on the property. And in Italy, if you buy a land which has an illegal building on it, this will be a criminal act. So, but we didn't know. We thought it's a cave, but it was no cave. So because of this, it was very easy to get out of everything. But we lost, of course, a lot of money, because we went all the way there. We take Airbnb. We spent, I don't know, 2 weeks or 3 weeks we spent in Italy. It was nice, but it was not the time to go for holidays. It was just because of the place to look. So we go back to my first land, and suddenly on the road in the forest there was a big hole. It was 8 meters deep. It was 8 meters wide, and this was a huge, big hole. I think the cost would be maybe 10,000 euro to fix this. This was from the rain in September last year, and of course, if something happen again like this, there will be again another hole. So this is not a good sign for this place. You have to live in this danger, that the street can be broken every day. But there was a forest walker, and I will call this now Destiny, because he asked me, what are you doing here? And I said, I want to buy this land. And he was laughing. Why? Why you want to buy this land? Are you crazy? And I said, why crazy? This is so beautiful. You have your silence. I maybe can put a caravan. And he said, yeah, maybe you can put a caravan, but you can't build a house here. And I said, yes, I know. But what can I do? There is nothing here in this place now, with these new rules. And then he said, no, that's not true. Go to Christos up in the mountain there. He wants to sell his land. And I said, which Christos? Who is it? I didn't know this land. Why I don't know this land? Because I know every piece of land here from the internet. And he said, yeah, just call him and talk to him. We will see. He gave me the phone number. I called him immediately. He was very friendly and a nice person on telephone, and he gave me the address, so the place from Google Maps where I have to go, because I know this area very well, so it was easy for me to find it very surely. I go there, and here we are. So the first 2 years here in Greece, it was really unbelievable, crazy, and I thought, how can we get a land here? And then in a few days everything was done. Now the price of the land was also very astonishing. A big surprise for me, because it's very big. It's this is 20,000 square meters, so 2 hectares, so very big. So for this size, and we are in Europe, and you have this view, and you are on the opposite of Skiathos, and you have building permission, we can get building permission, and you will have easily access to electricity and to water, and everything is allowed here. So the price of 145,000 euro, I think that's not too bad. This place here, it's, of course, if you buy something like this in Mykonos, you have to pay 3 million at least. Or in Skiathos, I guess you have to pay 2 million. But at the end I found what I was looking for, and one of the most important things for me was to be very close to the Aegean Sea, which I love so much. Going for a swim, especially with this heat, it's so wonderful. My dog loves it, and that's why I'm here.